Today I'm going to be working on the Onebot S6L, and I'm going to install a second battery. It's a decent little e-bike, and I just want to increase its functionality, just like how my wife would increase her functionality if she learned to cook. And before I do that, there needs to be some prep work done, like this mirror. And in the previous video, I mentioned how I got this rack onto a soft tail. What I did was I loosened this now because I want to raise it just a little bit, because I would like to have the battery sit on the bottom so I can use the top. Maybe I could put a little cage or a rack right here. Don't get me wrong, I love the bigger e-bikes. However, it was getting to the point that, people were giving me too much notice, all right? There's just too many eyes when I'm using that bigger e-bike. It's starting to annoy me with all these people just looking at me in the oddest way. Why am I riding such a big e-bike everywhere? Oh man, did I bend this? Yes, I did. Okay, so I gotta loosen this a little bit more. So this is a bit messy looking. See in a second. Okay, well, it came off. Okay, so it's higher. I think this is good enough. In height, so this angle, you need to move it up. So now there should be enough room for that battery. And there's gonna be a small case. Let's see. And the case I got is kind of ghetto. So there, the battery's gonna sit all the way up here if possible. And the case is it's gonna be a little bit thick, but it should be all right. Trying to level it out right about there. That makes it about even. All right, now to tighten this one, that should give it most of the rigidity. And then this piece right here, back here, is next. And so there's a screw in the back, and just tightens this arm. Now it has nowhere to go. It's almost tightened. Try to tighten it by hand as much as you can, because this is extremely annoying at this angle. Probably not the best way to do it, but I've got this angle cutter. So what I noticed that I wanted a little bit deeper, further down. So I got the saw instead. It's not even meant for metal. I don't have the metal blade. So let's see what happens. All right. So the only issue is that once this is cut, there's really no going back, right? There we go. Gotta make sure that this thing stays. Okay, this is rock solid. Rock solid. Yeah, this is good. So before I get the battery in, the second battery, I'm going to take this apart. Let's just see what is involved. All right. Come on, come on. All right, just conventional tools. So the goal is to get this one battery connected like so, and this battery connected like so, and this thing right here into the controller. So we've got two batteries going at once. This is a battery balancer, and its job is just to get the voltages in line with each other so they don't drift apart. That way you're not going to have like a mishap, no burning houses or any of that stuff. Now I can't promise you that there's not going to be any burning houses, but I can promise you that with dual batteries you can get really far away from the wife. All right, now let's just get back into this, okay? Let's battery, here we go. Batteries over here. This is where the power supply or the controller goes right here, and the goal would be to have everything fit in here, okay? But based on how tight it is, it might not be possible, okay? Well, the good thing is that it uses XT60s, so we're going to do something like this, okay? This is going to connect to this battery, like so. The mock-up would be something like this, if this thing ever goes in, okay? This side goes in here, and then this back in here, okay? The issue I'm having, though, is that, can I really fit this in here? I don't think I can. Let's just get this out. Have a look. I mean, this thing, yeah, it's going to work. So is it? Okay, so let's just see. It's gonna go down here somewhere, because this is like it's kind of a deep pocket. See all the space? It's just that it gets in there. It can get messed. Oh yeah, it can go in there. But if it doesn't have enough cord length, then might be a problem. And you see all these cables. It may look confusing, but there's two clear females, I guess, and one male. So you can't get it wrong. It's just one of those things. Okay, so that goes there fine. But how about this cable? Well, let's just bring one cable outside first. Okay, so here's an extension cord. It goes down right over here. It's not going to be long enough. So I'm just gonna have to join multiple extension cords. And even then it might not be long enough. I can tell that it goes down here with these bunches of cables. This is a tight fit, so there we go. I'm gonna have to take this out just to feed this through first. Okay, so make sure you've got the male. Okay, the male is the one that is it's pointy, okay? The other side is like a socket, which is female. Okay. I got it in. So now I plug it in. So you can kind of see where it's all headed, right? It's got two batteries. This goes to the battery over here. This one is going to connect to this battery. And I gotta make sure that I'm all plugged in as well before I forget about that. Okay, so I've got the controller to this box. This box is out to one cable. Let's double check. Okay, and then which is one battery, and then this other battery. So all the connections have been made, and now, okay, it has a deep socket back here, which is kind of funny because you can't really see it, but that pocket is, there's a lot of space back there. Okay, so from what I remember, it was like it actually turned this way. Okay, there we go. Let's just see. You know what? I'm gonna look at the cables really quickly. There is a short cable in case this can be the speed hack right here, but I think from what I remember, this actually makes it slower. So I'm not gonna test that out because it might actually be slower. This cable looks like auxiliary power. Okay, and the way I'm gonna test it out is I'm just gonna make this live. Oh no. Oh no, this is the wrong connector. Look at this. Two females, they don't attach to each other. Alright, so this is the right connector. It's male, female. Should go in here. because I said earlier this is one battery. Okay, so should power on. It does. And now, okay. No, this is producing like 1 volt. So it's not auxiliary power. You know, putting stuff back in is always going to be the most troublesome. But this one, come on, please, please. There we go. Okay, so let's see, it goes in like this. So over here, I need this gap. Okay, so this should turn on because I have 1 battery, and it does. Okay, 86%. The other battery was at 92%. So I should get a lot of range with that. Now, since I did this video very last minute, I didn't have the finest bag, but I have this little girly bag of my daughter's that is weatherproof, and the bag is going to house the battery, and it's going to go in just like this. I'm gonna wrap up the bag, and then I'll do some cable management, and I'm gonna Velcro it. Okay, so it's just gonna wrap around something like this. Oops. Around this much is good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to bend this thing out of the way, but it'll be all right because I'll bend it back. Okay, this thing is in my way. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it under this clip because I want this clip to be usable. And see, the good part of this is that it's next to this pole that I just cut and this back piece right here, so it has really no wiggle room. All right, so now hopefully just 1 extension would be enough. And this is kind of tricky, but there inside of here, there's a brake line. You see this brake line? And since I can't see down there, I'm just gonna lay down the bike just to make life a little easier and not work against gravity. You see, here it is. Now this is one of the lines. Let's just take this out of here because not the most optimum angle. And to reach this, you need the most optimum angle. So I'm gonna hook it behind here because this cable is really short and I don't have the perfect length. The story of my life. Whoa, this thing barely reaches, but it reaches. There you go. Perfect length. Spiderweb eggs. This is nasty. And this has got to be the most ugliest install I've ever done. I definitely need some electrical tape, something to clean up the look. But other than that, it is functional. It's showing 91% now. And I can go really far with this setup. And one last thing with this Onebot S6L, I did shorten it because my wife wanted to, you know, use the e-bike, right? So there's a rivet right here, and you can see mine is cut clean off, and this bike makes it super simple. There is a channel right here and a spider, but the channel right here, you can fit the rivet right inside there and simply twist the seat and the rivet cuts right off. So this part back here, you had to chop off around 2 inches, okay? you'll see, because once you put this down, you can't hit this bottom piece. Okay, and well, it can hit it, but it's not supposed to go all the way down. You need it, you know, up just a little bit. Otherwise, it's not going to catch on to the pole itself, this tightener right here. So this works for me. And this is enough travel right here, because there's not a whole lot of travel and it's angular, so it's not going to hit it. I'm just going to raise it up just a little bit more just to be safe. So that is it. I've done it. I have a rear rack, which I can put a jacket or some other items up back there, mirror, seat, lowered seat, and most importantly, this second battery. Now I can travel much longer. And the reason why I like this little e-bike is because it's small. People see these little tires, they don't even notice that it's an e-bike until they hear it. With these big things, I was noticing that when I was riding the bigger ones, that people they have their eyes on you a little bit too much. It's a little bit too flashy. So I wanted a second e-bike that I can just ride around a lot. I mean, a lot, and with less attention. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. See you in the next one. Take care.